Hello, everybody. I'm Conquering History Games, and welcome to live stream number 3 of my Lermond, New England campaign. And you are listening to me now through a new mic. Not a super expensive one, nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy, but this was paid for by you guys in that live stream the other day. I've also was able to find a cheap but reliable stand as well. So now my battle station, as it were, is much better organized. So the way I've had my mic before, it's been on a stand that just blocks one of my monitors. So really not an ideal situation. But now not on a stand, just on its regular little tripod thing. But now I've got one of those stands that, you attach it to the side of the desk and it comes up and over. So now there's space underneath and I've got half of my desk back, which is nice. Also, this has a cool little gain switch on this new mic, so I can raise and lower the volume very easily here without having to go into my settings on the PC. So, for example, I could bring it down, like you see, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I kind of went 10 down to 1, 1 up to 10 there, and then I could crank it up too. So we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So yeah, I'm happy with the setup. Please let me know how y'all feel about it, but I think this calls for a drink. Let's have some bourbon. Time for some opening ASMR. And the pour. Very quiet pour. Instantly, for anyone wondering, we're having a bourbon, not a particularly great one, but I got it on sale. It was like some sort of gift set thing. Long time ago. Bullet Bourbon Frontier Whiskey. 45% alcohol by volume exactly. And, since when did they start putting, nutrition info on, alcohol? Yeah, it has like the calorie count, how much fat and protein is in it. 0 for both. Crown and Coke man myself. Woo! I haven't had Crown in a long time. I used to drink it a lot when I was younger. I just guess I haven't taken the time to go out of my way to get a bottle. Maybe next time there's a gift set out. Let's put some music on. I'm not going to be playing the Kaiserredux music because it turns out there is still copyrighted stuff on the soundtrack. So yeah, we're not going to be doing that. Let me just find some nice non-copyrighted stuff. Or actually, since we're drinking, you guys know I've been listening to it so much lately, but we're going to listen to it some more. Let's listen to some Sea of Dirac album from a Jun Fukamachi. Something nice to drink with. So cheers, everybody. Salud. And if you're Vietnamese, yo. Okay. So, with all that, I think should have gotten people. Someone was asking me, how's it going? It's going well, Alec. Like I said, new mic setup, so gotta be happy about that. Do I have a favorite drink? It really depends on the mood. It's much like music. But when it comes to dark liquors, it's usually bourbon. Almost all the time it's bourbon. Just which bourbon is the question. I'd say my kind of standard to go to would be Wild Turkey 101. Got that from a father of mine. Anyway, let me know if the music's too loud. Actually, I'm going to turn it down a little bit now because I know it's going to get louder in a bit. Let's do it there. Okay. So the Whitecap Devils are striking. This is where we last left off, and I let people vote in the community tab. It was pretty overwhelming, the decision made. The KKK have been plotting against Lermond, and the bomb will be safely transported, primed, armed, and detonated. Let me just check something here. Okay, I'm just gonna wait a few days though here because I want to get this extra research slot, and I would imagine that the tree is gonna close out when. Oh wait, maybe not. Have we? Oh, that's right. We're in the Third International. I'm pretty sure we're not going to be socialist anymore in a second, or maybe we will be. It's just a terrorist. It's not like it's a coup. It's a terrorist attack. But let me just check this. Oh yeah. No matter what we are, I think we'll still get the research slot. Okay, that's good planning on their part. Excuse me. Still, let's get that done first. What an amazing album. Amazing album. And this first song, it's not my favorite on the album, but I'd say it's my second favorite. There's only like 5 tracks. Okay, here we go. The bomb is safely transported, primed, armed, and detonated. Lermond has died, and we'll get a provisional Congress that hurts political power. Socialist Party of New England Central Committee. Then here comes the pickup. Main riff. Finally giving up the ghost and leaving this great nation he has built behind, Norman Wallace Lermond has died. And now we are cast adrift without direction. We must move to announce a new successor to Lermond in order to complete his term, but now the only question that remains is to who must be chosen. Yeah, Santa has fallen. Repeat, Santa has fallen. We must move to announce a new successor to Lermond in order to complete his term, but now the only question that remains is as to who must be chosen. The 3 main factions competing for the seat are varied. The majority force are the Orthodox Lermondites, run by Henry A. Pillsbury, along with figures like the young and up-and-comer Barry Commoner. What a name, Commoner. Oh, thank you for the subscription, Seplis. It's pretty rare that people subscribe during a live stream of mine, usually because like if they're watching the channel, they just watch the live stream and or like they only subscribers show up. Oh, that gift, that's great. With figures like the young up-and-coming Barry Commoner, prodigal son of a longtime Lermond ally Harvey Bullfinch Lovell. Opposing them are the industrial syndicates led by Irwin Harry Alt, who wish to undo Lermond's severe agrarian slant, and Paul Goodman, who leads a group of young green anarchists that seek to accelerate Lermond's vision even further. Who shall win is anyone's guess, but whoever rises to the top will dictate our new destiny. So it'll probably do, only thing that matters about the new leader, do they enjoy smooth jazz? Yeah, there you go. I need to think about what doctrine I want. It doesn't really matter if I take it now or later, but I probably got to do superior firepower into integrated support. So what we'll probably do is when we get the decision to choose who it is, I'll put it to a poll. And then I'll actually read you guys some stuff that's related to the KKK. Well, speaking of the KKK, because I've been doing some reading of the Reconstruction period, and I am, guess what? I don't know if you guys heard, but Elizabeth Cady Stanton, the historical feminist, American feminist, she is canceled. You probably haven't heard of that because I'm the only one who's done it. I am canceling Elizabeth Cady Stanton. And then the bass player, he's really picking it up here. Just bow, bow, with those pops. Bow. Yeah. How's Canada okay with any of these political directions New England's taking? I'm not with Canada anymore. Oh, nice. Mexico joined up. Sweet. That's actually really helpful. That's going to open up the other flank. But what I was saying, yeah, so I've been reading some Elizabeth Cady Stanton stuff that's been coming up. For those of you who don't know, she's like a super well-respected feminist figure. And I'm talking about like old, not this like, I know that like feminism is really contentious, but I'm talking about like women's suffrage back in the day. basically when Reconstruction was kicking off, things got kind of contentious because the, black people in America were starting to get more rights. And Elizabeth Cady Stanton was becoming really bitter about it. And so she ends up turning on African American rights, and gets really racist and bitter about it. I'm reading some of this stuff. I'm going, oh boy, oh Stanton, no. Okay, what's it? You should look up the Balk Snoobers. Very interesting vigilantes in the Ozarks. All right, let me open that up in another tab. Oh, wow. It looks like Ken... I was looking up Elizabeth Cady Stanton so I can maybe pull up a picture of her, but, wow. Ken Burns did a documentary on her and Susan B. Anthony. I never knew that. When did he make this? In 1999. It must be a short one. He did a lot of short ones back in the day, in the 90s. Just some quick, just a few hours documentaries, not his mammoth, 12+ hour ones. Yeah, Kat is dealing with the Quebecois concept. Yeah, so I'll read you some stuff that she said when it comes time for the vote. This is wild. And then I'll tell you something that a friend of mine said when I showed him one of the quotes. A friend's response, not mine, for official reasons. Okay, here we go. Interparty election. Let's read this, and then I'll go through all of the options, and then you guys can vote on which one it'll be, and we'll probably do a runoff. Okay. Lermond successor pick. Okay, with the death of President Lermond, the party has moved to elect a new successor from within their own ranks. The main faction dominating the party conference has the Lermondite loyalists, nicknamed the Old Oaks. They are a group of sworn and devoted Lermondites that seek to guide New England forward. Little to no deviation from our original path is set by our fallen father. They are largely dominated by three camps, being the young left libertarian moderates under Lermond's own student Barry Commoner, the communal Hivis under Harvey Bullfinch Lovell, who is the son of Lermond's old colleague John and sworn to his late father's ideals, inspired by bee behavior and biology, and the main Lermondite loyalists known as the Oaken Corps, which is led by Lermond's own protege and lifelong friend, Henry August Pillsbury. Opposing this coalition of Lermondites are the two competing radical factions, the Industrialists and the Young Jeffersonians. The Industrialists under Irwin Branton Henry Alt are a group of Foresterite-inspired syndicalist moderates that seek to capitalize on New England's nascent industry in order to build an egalitarian workers' paradise that still respects the environment as per Lermond's wishes. Opposing the traitors, in quotation marks, to Lermond's vision are the Young Jeffersonians under the young philosopher and activist Paul Goodman. They seek to accelerate Lermond's dream by hearkening back to America's frontier and colonial past, creating an ecological anarchist utopia built around cooperating communes. Only one faction could truly win out, however, so who shall rise to lead New England now in the wake of Lermond's tragic demise? So if we do the industrialists, we'll get bonuses, like a bunch of military bonuses on our cores, but construction speed will go down. Wait, hold on. So we get construction speed down and up, so it's a net plus 8%. So, okay, basically it sounds like this will give us military buffs and industry buffs. The military buffs, though, are just on our cores. The Lermondites under Commodore give us radical environmentalists. So, okay, so like these two are basically both, yeah, both of them get radical environmentalists, but him we also get a captain of industry. Then Lovell, the science of the hive, the bee people is also the, okay, this is not useful because they're all going to be radical industrialists no matter what. So let's look at the tree. So it's basically it's we're going to do alt And this heads into New English style syndicalism. So yeah, industry stuff, labor movements. If we do Young Jeffersonians, this is political power buffs. Yeah, it looks like it's mostly political power buffs. And then we do Oak Stand Strong. We get some industry buffs, some not. So anyway, let me go ahead and make the poll, and we'll do a runoff if needed. Alt and industry. Oops, whoops. Lermond successor. Oops. Okay. So we got alt and industry. Oh, let me add all the options. Oh, can we only have 4 options? Hold on. Commoner. Lermondite. Pillsbury. Lermondite. Level and the Hive. Bees. Okay, it looks like I can't actually add 5 things. So, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna mix all the Lermondites together. So, Lermondites and into one pole. And then I love bees go with the hive, yeah. And then Young Jeffersonians. Okay. So the Lermondites. There's the alert. Thank you very much. By the way, how's the mic sounding? Is everybody okay with it? Okay, there we go. Hold on, now I need to get rid of the 4th option. Okay. So yeah, we'll ask the community. That probably, actually, this is probably for the best that I set up the poll this way, because I'm sure if I put the Lermondites all on their own, they probably would have split the vote 3 ways, and then it would have ended up being between alt and the industrialists or the Young Jeffersonians, even if like the Lermondites probably would have had more than 50% combined or something like that. I don't know. Solar punk Lermondism. Oh man, I should make like an iceberg chart of like Hearts of Iron 4 mod like political systems. So like above the iceberg you have just like real world, I don't know, liberal democracy, constitutional monarchy or whatever, and then it keeps going further and further and down. So yeah, but by the time, yeah, like deep in the darkness of the iceberg, you know, you can't see the light anymore, that's where you're getting Harvey Lovell's Lermondite hivist community. Anyway, let me pull up. I actually don't need the book in front of me. Actually, I should go grab the book. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I was doing some reading on, you know, like the Civil War amendments, you know, 13th, 14th, 15th amendments of the U.S. Constitution. So for those of you who are not Americans, the ways that those work is they're called the Civil War amendments because they were all passed in the wake of the Civil War and like radically changed how the United States operates on a legal level. It's like the 13th Amendment officially freed all the slaves. The 14th Amendment introduced a ton of clauses, stuff like equal protection, probably the most important of the Civil War amendments in terms of like long-ranging consequences. And then the 15th Amendment was where it became illegal to deny someone the ability to vote based on race or color. So, the abolitionist movement, which you could also call the Black Rights Movement, and the women's suffrage movement had worked, which is women's voting in America, had worked together for decades. By the way, I'm just vamping while you all vote, so please get voting. They had worked together for decades, and then they continued after the war. They like reorganized and they created the the American Equal Rights Association, which was just another name for the for organizations that had already existed. But I'm bringing up this one specifically. So this one, their motto was, quote, "to secure equal rights to all American citizens, especially the right of suffrage, irrespective of race, color, or sex." So there were white people in the group, there was black people in the group, men were in it, women were in it. And again, this was just like a new organization that was like kind of the same as ones that had existed before the war. So anyway, things got pretty tense. Let's see, I'm trying to find here. Yeah, so when the 14th Amendment is being debated, the word male got inserted in it, which is strange because there had never been gendered language in the Constitution before. But I'll just read like part of the 14th Amendment, not all of it. But there's a part here, it says, the right to vote at any election for the choice of electors for president and vice president of the United States, and it just lists everything you're allowed to vote for, is denied to any male inhabitant of such state, being 21 years of age, blah, 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 blah. The basis of representation therein shall be reduced in proportion which the number of such male citizens shall bear to the whole number of male citizens 21 years of age in such state. So to make a complicated section simple, that section of the 14th Amendment is basically saying to the southern states, you know, like South Carolina or whatever, it's like if you... Oh, Black South Carolina. That named it. So, interesting. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, it's basically saying, okay, South Carolina, if you take away the right to vote from your black citizens, you will lose that much representation in Congress. So it's basically saying, it's like, if your citizens don't vote, we're not going to count your citizens when it comes to representation. So it's a way to like punish them. Now it's a contentious section of the amendment because then that implies that it's actually legal for the right to vote to be taken away because there's a punishment for doing so. But it's not like that you can't do it. It's just like you could do it, but these are the consequences. Anyway, so the 15th Amendment was trying to address that. But basically there's like equal protection clauses and all sorts of stuff in there. So things are starting to get contentious because the word male gets put in there. And there were reasons for that we're not going to get into. But freaking Stanton drops this line. I'm trying to find it in the book. Keep voting, people. Keep voting. Although we might have an outright winner. Wow, very surprising. In a 5-way race. Oh god, I lost the page. But she basically says, oh god, I'm gonna have to check the index for a slur word. Hold on. He didn't put the slur in the index. What a coward. Okay, let me look at ST for Stanton then. Or would it be under Katie Stanton? It's not. Isn't Katie her middle name though? It's not hyphenated, is it? She's not Mexican. Okay, maybe under E for Elizabeth. What? Is she not in the index? I know this is a short book, but where the heck is she? Getting totally distracted by this right now. ST South Stanton. Where's Stanton? There's Stevens. Here we go. Katie Stanton. Pages 81, 82. Okay. Yeah. if the word male is inserted. Bury the black. Why can't I? Oh, here we go. Here's the quote. I was on the correct page. Yeah. So Stanton basically just starts going racist because she's getting so pissed about this. And so she's giving a speech at the Women's Loyal National League. And she says, now this is the quote, women should not stand aside and see Sambo walk into the kingdom first. Which, that's a racial, so I know, like, in Spanish, that's like a categorization, but in English, that's considered to be a racial slur now. Maybe I just canceled myself by quoting it. And so I showed that quote to some friends of mine, and one of them said, oh, it's like Hillary Clinton in 2008. I went, oh gosh, which I know a lot of my viewers maybe are too young to remember that campaign, but yeah, whenever I hear people say, oh, 2016, 2020, these were the nastiest campaigns ever. No, not even in the 21st century. Some of the Hillaryites were saying some pretty awful stuff about Obama. Anyway, it looks like the Young Jeffersonians have won. So I'll go. Yeah, it didn't seem like any more votes are coming in. So here we go. The Young Jeffersonians under Goodman accelerate Lermondite thought to its anarchistic end. All right. We're going back to the frontier and colonial past. Under Paul Goodman. He seems like a good man. Get it? Whoa, check out this logo. It's like the anarchy flag, but it's turning into like a green leaf or something. Anyway, let's read this guy. Nice portrait. Oh, there's no bio on him. So these guys believe in EcoAnarchism. Ecological anarchism, frequently shortened to just... You know what? Hold on, I'm blocking the guy's face. Wait, what? There we go. Frequently shortened to just eco-anarchism, is a relatively new form of socialism pioneered in the most verdant of this Earth's Edens. These systems could vary greatly, but generally advocate for an anarchist or semi-anarchist system centered around communalistic democracy, agrarianism, collectivism, left libertarianism, and conservatism, meaning ecological conservatism, I think. I don't mean that thinks they are conservatives. Among the various other strands of ecological and leftist thought, putting the proletariat and the planet on the same high pedestal and seeking to abolish the oppressive status system that perverts and corrupts these pillars of a just society, eco-anarchists believe in no god and no master besides the sanctity of Mother Earth. No gods, no masters, except for Mother Earth. You know, I was seeing, I once was seeing a thing, you guys know I like to watch HOI4, where, you know, I'm just gonna say it, because fuck it, I don't... No, I'm gonna say it. Don't harass her, please, though, if you're a fucking loser like that. Just go touch actual grass if you're like that. So, there was, maybe I shouldn't be specific, because it's probably people who know wouldn't actually... I don't know. I'm just gonna fucking say it. So, there was a rumor, I just was seeing a thread where there was, like, some rumor that Cersei's Fauna, one of the Hall Life girls, has an in real life boyfriend, which if she does, good for her. But it's kind of funny comparing the Japanese and the English-speaking communities when it comes to VTubers, because it seems like the Japanese side, they get really hung up on that, like, my wife, or a thing, you know, like my 2D wife on the computer. But I saw a thing, because it was just got brought up in passing, and one guy starts freaking out, like, oh my god, I can't believe it! And then just everybody just started hurling slurs at this guy. By the way, I should note, nobody knew what this person's race was. They just were, you know, it was like a Call of Duty Modern Warfare lobby in there, just shouting this guy down. But there was a really funny... a line somebody said, it's like, she's Mother Nature, not Wife Nature, dumbass, or like something like that, which was one of the kinder words being thrown his way. A lot of bombs being thrown in his direction, we'll put it that way. But Yes, Mother Nature. Surpassing the Lermondite core and alt-industrialists, the young Jeffersonians, led by eco-anarchist and philosopher Paul Goodman, have risen to take the torch of Lermond's vision. Under the young firebrand Goodman, New England shall further dive into eco-socialism and agrarianism, while further dissolving the apparatus of state as we push closer to pure communalism and anarchism, truly in tune with nature and the frontier around us. Ah, man, my headphones are really comfortable now. Another thing I forgot to mention, I got a haircut. First haircut in like 2 years. Oh, that's going to hurt our political power gain, but we get a lot more stability. But we're maxed out on stability! Ah, we're also happy in nature and shit. But nature doesn't pay the political power bills. Not that I'm really using it anyway, so who cares? I guess I should take some of this stuff just to have something. Yeah, I just don't really have much to do with all this. Oh shoot, I should come down here and grab these first, my bad. Where's the music? Here we go. There it is. Yeah. Okay, anyway, yeah, I should have come down and done these first. I made a mistake. Electronics, industrial, research, construction speed. I think we'll do IBM. Yeah, I fucked up. I shouldn't have taken these military command focuses that were like pretty much useless. I should have grabbed like the weapons stuff at the bottom. Alright, anyway, let's read some more. Let's find some more racist. You know, that was just like a little taste, but some Stanton stuff. So yeah, the 14th Amendment gets passed, and the tensions are ramping up between the women's suffragists and the abolitionist movement. So Susan B. Anthony is starting now to get pissed off about it when the 15th Amendment goes through, because it had negative language instead of positive language. So what that means when we're talking about the Constitution is like when you're saying something has positive language, that okay, like in the 15th Amendment's case, positive power would be something like if it had said there could be no legislation to God, how do I say it? Because it's like it's legal language. It's a positive amendment would have been something where it was saying like all adult citizens have the right to vote. But the negative language, yeah, there you go. It's like giving rights. But the negative language that was used was, like, let me go to the actual amendment, is shall not be denied or abridged on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. So it's not saying here are your rights. It's saying no, you have rights and they cannot be taken away in this way. So it's like talking about something that's already there in theory. Ottomans under siege. The sick man may die. Time for the million war alerts to pop up. So yeah, it's getting like extremely contentious, and so like even Susan B. Anthony says, they're like, this is a humiliation. It leaves women, quote, the only human beings outside of state prisons and lunatic asylums judged incompetent to cast a ballot, which is that's not racial. That's not racial. She's just like, I can't believe everybody's gonna, like, all the men are gonna get to vote and we still can't vote, you know, unless like, oh, but the criminals can't either. Wow. But here was the thing. The 15th Amendment doesn't say anything about the word male. In fact, like, states could continue to give women the right to vote, which is weird because that was something that some people, when they were negotiating the 14th Amendment, were worried about. Let me tell you, these Civil War amendments, like, the negotiations were fierce, and there was, like, so many drafts being considered and so many contingencies that people were trying to think about. Like, okay, what if this happens? What if that happens? Like, for example, there was this idea that, like, there were people who were concerned during the Reconstruction period that it's like, okay, if we don't grant, if we don't, like they thought that southern states would like block the black vote and then allow their women to vote to make up for the lost representation according to the 14th Amendment, stuff like that. So that's why that male language ends up in the 14th Amendment. So yeah, Anthony's pissed about it just because it's like, oh my gosh, when are we gonna get our time? But then Katie Stanton goes another level further, and I'm actually gonna cut the music here so you guys can really appreciate this. So I'm gonna read directly from the book here. Happy New Year, 1939. Stanton gave voice. Oh no, here we go. Let me. Okay. Anthony's Susan B. Anthony. Anthony's longtime collaborator Elizabeth Cady Stanton used ever more heated language to express her disappointment. The 15th Amendment, she charged, would render, quote, every woman inferior to every man, end quote. Stanton gave voice to a miasma of racial, ethnic, and class prejudices. The amendment, she declared, and this is where it starts to get racial. It's like, white women, because these women, they're saying they want the women vote. Let's be honest here, they want the white women vote. But the amendment, she declared, quote, will place the ignorant Chinamen, the Germans who harness their wives to the plow with cows and horses, and the southern Negroes as rulers over our educated women. And then there's a part which I'm really not going to read but she basically she makes implications about black men committing sexual assaults, and it's not a pretty look. It's not a good look for Stanton, and I'm pretty sure there's a statue of her in the rotunda at the U.S. Capitol. Not a good look. Let's see here. She's racist against the Germans. Yeah, oh yeah. And the Chinese, there's a lot of the commentary about the 15th Amendment. You had some people who are going, look, we need to give black people the vote. They are blessed by our Christian creator. Now, what I'm concerned about is that the pagan Chinese are also going to be able to vote, so we need to be really careful here. It's wild. It's so wild. So what ends up happening is that the women split their basically the women's suffrage unit just eats movement, just eats itself alive. And I was actually talking about this with somebody today that I really think if they didn't just eat themselves alive here, maybe the women's right to vote via constitutional amendment could have been pulled off in the 1870s, early 1870s. Not a guarantee, but it certainly was possible. They definitely wouldn't have had to wait 50 freaking years. But what ends up happening is that there's a split that happens in the women's movement. Well, first thing they do is they blow up the American Equal Rights Association. Oh, sorry, I thought I was on pause. The American Equal Rights Association that I was talking about. And Frederick Douglass is chewing out Stanton, why are you using this language? And then she's going, oh, so we're gonna let black gardeners and the boot blacks get the vote before the daughters of Jefferson and Washington? It's just, oh, Jesus, Elizabeth, what are you doing? Let's see here. Let's see, sidestepping the established Lermond Oaken core and the radical revisionist alt, Paul Goodman and his young Jeffersonians have risen to lead the party in New England. An advocate of ecological anarchism, Goodman seeks to accelerate Lermond thought to what he believes is its inevitable conclusion. Seeing modern pollutive industrialization as a cancer that needs to be cured, Goodman seeks to replace this harmful apparatus with an anarchist system built around frontier democracy and cooperating communes that spread our industry out and limit it to only what is necessary to provide a comfortable well-being for our people so as to not further damage the environment. Our liberty depends on the sanctity of the environment, and that cannot be limited without being lost. Okay, women with the asterisk. Yeah. So anyway, so they end up blowing up the American Equal Rights Association. They're like, we don't care anymore about black rights. Go fuck yourselves. Hold on, Industrial Society and its plight. That is a interesting logo, pretty cool looking. It looks like this one is holding that focus up. Okay, we can't go here, but we could do eco-socialism. No matter how we deviate from Lermond's original vision, if at all, we must always maintain our foundation as an eco-socialist state. Inspired by the Granger movement, Bellamite, utopian thought, conservatism, and other agrarian-minded, ecologically conscious movements, our administration and all future administrations shall never deviate from our established core. The proletariat matters as much as the planet does, and we must always care for both in equal measure. Yeah, so basically, to make a long story short, things split up. So it's like baseball. You have the Nationals and the Americans. So the National Women's Suffrage Association gets created, and so that has Stanton and Susan B. Anthony in it. And then there is the American Women's Suffrage Association, which has Harper in it, Lucy Stone, Abby Kelly, and like I think it was Kelly. Yeah, Kelly. Here's a quote from Kelly. She had been a traveling abolitionist lecturer in the 1840s. She had done more than any other individual to win for women the right to speak in public. Quote, I should think of myself as a monster of selfishness. Oh, I missed the earlier part of the sentence. Yeah, but she was basically saying, like, it would be so selfish of her to only focus on the women's issues. Like, and so it's like, so the American Women's Suffrage Association tries to continue that working with abolitionist thing going. But it's yeah, it was a mixed bag. But yeah, see you in 50 years, ladies. See you in 50 years when like 3 other amendments have passed. You could have had the 16th. They could have had Sweet 16. Who knows? But no, first we got to pass an income tax. Cause you called Frederick Douglass a Sambo. Goodman took a page out of the Unabomber Manifesto. Yeah. You know what? We're actually gonna cut this album short. Although let's go get like the best ending to an album ever first, like this last 20 seconds. Oh shoot! I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, let's go to some other no copyright. Let's do something no copyright music. Let's try that. Here we go. Celtic forest music from our man Adrian von Ziegler. Let's go to the Call of the Wild. Adrian von Ziegler, he's so great. You know, I'm actually going to take a look at his Bandcamp real quick here in the other monitor. Because I remember I once wanted to see what he... Oh, cool, he has individual albums now. Yeah, because I remember Von Ziegler, and he's been doing this for years. It used to be when you went on his Bandcamp, if you wanted to support him, you had to buy his entire discography. Which I guess is a good thing, but it's like... It was like $50, you get his whole discography. But it looks like now he's split things up into albums. Yeah, that's probably good for him. It probably makes more money that way. But like, does he have merch? I'd love to get a shirt of this guy, from this guy. He's awesome. Let's see here. Yeah, wow, he split it up into a bunch of albums, and he also has you can still do the complete discography. Good for him. Good for him. Forest music for New England. Is this campaign going Celtic? Yeah. Yeah, Brazil joined the Reichspakt per usual. Oh yeah, so we're listening. I'll go ahead and link it. Let me know if it's too loud. Oh, speaking of Celtic, I have been freaking slamming my way through Ulysses because I had to stop a lot of my personal reading for a while I was doing midterms. But I came back to Ulysses, and so when I had last stopped reading it, I was reading, I had just finished chapter 9, And that's 9 of 18. So I was halfway through the book in terms of chapters, although I'm still actually not halfway. Like, I've read 100 pages in 2 days. I'm still not halfway through the whole book, because I know that there's like a 150-page chapter in here. So obviously that one I'm going to have to break up. But it's been amazing. So, like, you know, you don't even have to worry about spoilers when it comes to Ulysses. Like, the story's so simple. It's like, oh, you're gonna spoil Moby Dick. Oh, they're chasing a whale. Wow, I didn't know that. But yeah, so Ulysses is very much a portrait of Dublin. And hold on, keeping Lermondist economics, keeping in line, we're codifying theory and ideology into one cohesive document. The Lermond is gone. That does not mean his legacy and teachings in here. Give us your poor, and we shall build utopia. We've got so much political power, and yet so little to actually spend it on. These are all, like, practically the same, all this infantry stuff. Why would you ever not take Mossberg's and Sons if you wanted the industry buff? Like, look, this is just objectively better than Vickers, than Pictony. Some of these are just straight up worse. I guess they're just there for flavor. Yeah, it's basically all industry except for this. Let's look at this artillery, towed anti-air. We put anti-air in our main infantry divisions, right? Yes, we did. Might actually take that. It's 10% artillery research speed. Yeah, using political power from environmentalism to power the industry. Exactly. Yes, Waterwette to Arsenal. These don't really matter. We're just spending it to spend it. Solar-powered tanks win. Soon. Industrial society and its plight. We were talking about a certain serial killer's manifesto. Industrial society and its plight have been a disaster for the human race. Slightly different wording, but you know what I mean. They have greatly increased the life expectancy of those of us who lived in advanced countries, but they have destabilized society, have made life unfulfilling, have subjected human beings to indignities, have led to widespread psychological and physical suffering, and have inflicted severe damage on the natural world. The continued development along this path will only worsen the situation. It will certainly subject human beings to greater indignities and greater damage on the natural world. It will probably lead to greater social disruption and psychological suffering, and it may lead to increased physical suffering even in advanced countries. As such, industrial society must be observed and refined so that inhumane acts can finally be undone. We must progress forward while also returning in some way to a more sustainable system. So our factory output's going to drop, but the factories we do have will be more efficient because consumer good factories will go down. And we're going to get 15% political power, but again, we're getting so much political power we don't need. Damn, this, whenever his flute comes in, it's so loud. We're going to skip this song. Let's come on down here. So, Lovecraft's party still has one person. Yeah, Providence Society, 1%. Nobody in House of Windsor, nobody for 1% Providence. Well, it's Lovecraft, obviously. It's he himself. So I was saying earlier, yeah, Ulysses is a story about the city of Dublin. Like, there's a plot, there's people you follow, but it's about Dublin. It's about Ireland. And I hit this chapter called Wandering Rocks. That was chapter 10, which is just like a series. It's like 19 super short stories that take place in Dublin. And like it's like a micro version and yet improved version in some ways of the James Joyce book Dubliners, which is probably my favorite short story collection ever. So that was amazing. And then like chapter, because like the thing is all the different chapters in Ulysses have these gimmicks. So then I was done with that. Chapter 11, we get back to the main story and it takes place in a bar and like there's singing and there's music playing. during it, and there's like a lot of great moments in that chapter. There's just like this amazing momentum to it. Cape to Cairo rail. Germans are trying for it. Impressive. Very nice. Let's see. Yeah, we need a Christian Bale. Here comes ASMR. Let's see Kaiser Wilhelm's rail. Impressive. Very nice. And the PSA might actually win. I don't think so. Remember, these two are working together. So yeah, it's this wonderful chapter that takes place in a bar, and like there's dick jokes, there's punnery. Who am I kidding? That's in every chapter, but just a really great like reflections on music. A lot of yeah, let's see Paul Allen's Railway. Just really, really great. And then I read this chapter earlier today, chapter 12, which is based on the Cyclops episode in the Odyssey. You know where Odysseus stabs the Cyclops in the eye, and then tricks it into opening the cave so him and his men can escape. The rail's rightful property of the English Empire. The British Empire, excuse me. Let's get the anti-air finally going. Should have been doing this much earlier. Oh, we need some tungsten now. Wait. We should trade with, yeah, fellow syndicalist styles, anarchist style. And it might have been the best chapter yet. Once again, it takes place in a bar. You know, it's Ireland. Appointing the New England Poet Laureate. Oh yeah, we don't want to do Lovecraft, Master of Horror. Not when he only has 1%, so we'll do Frost. I could fire some like naval designers or whatever. I guess let's just do this, just to have it. We don't need this political power for anything. Yeah, we're getting 1.41 a day even when we take a spirit. We have way too much. But yeah, it's just this amazing thing in a bar, and the gimmick that James Joyce did in the chapter is here's the plot of the chapter, of the episode, some people call it. It's from the point of view of somebody saying, oh yeah, so I was in this bar earlier today, and then this is what happened. And so it's from a narrator's point of view. And he's basically talking about an argument, like a bunch of guys were in the bar drinking, and then this guy who's never given a name, he's just called the Citizen, like with a capital C, the Citizen. Funding the Pioneers. Let's see what that's about. All across New England, new modern pioneers and frontiersmen blaze new trails as they establish new communes and collectives throughout the nation. We should fund these brave souls and further incentivize more to join their ranks in order to accelerate our push towards a more free and anarchistic system. Yeah, so wait, I think the anti-air is ready. Yeah, so it's from the point of, no, it's the infantry equipment. So it's from the point of view of this guy saying, so yeah, the Citizen, we were in a bar, and some other guys were in a bar, and then not Harold Bloom. Harold Bloom's a writer. Leopold Bloom, who's one of the main characters, he comes into the bar and an argument broke out. It's such an interesting chapter because it's so dense, it's so layered. Like, there's a lot of anti-Semitism in it against the character of Leopold Bloom. But there's also a lot of discussion about Irish nationalism, which is like really, really key for contextualizing stuff, because you got to remember this was a book that was written, it was finished up in like 1917, and it takes place in 1904. So the crux of the plot is a bunch of dudes are in a bar. One of the main characters come into the bar. They start arguing. Eventually, the guy who came in leaves because he's got to go work. He can't just be sitting drinking all day. He's got to go do things. But what was my favorite part of this chapter is that there is this voice, for lack of a better word, that like takes, they're like kind of like newspaper articles or news reports, maybe you can think of it like, breaking news on the television, that break into the story whenever something is happening. So it's like, oh, there's the guy who I'm meeting at the bar, and then it describes the guy at the bar. In fact, like, I'm gonna turn the music off here for a second. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just like so freaking hype about Ulysses. Like I said, I've just been devouring this book. I've read 1/6 of this book in 2 days. So like, there's a part where the guy's in the bar and he says, you know, he's like, he just looks over to the bar and he sees the guy sitting there. But then this is how the guy is described. The person sitting at the bar. He was broad-shouldered, deep-chested, strong-limbed, frank... I'm going to try to do an Irish accent for this. Frank-eyed, red-haired, freely freckled, shaggy-bearded, wide-mouthed, large-nosed, long-headed, deep-voiced, bare-kneed, brawny-handed, hairy-legged, ruddy-faced, sinewy-armed hero. From shoulder to shoulder he measured several ells, and his rock-like mountainous knees were covered, as was likewise the rest of his body wherever visible, with a strong growth of tawny prickly hair and hue and toughness similar to the mountain gorse Ullux europus. The wide-winged nostrils from which bristles of the same tawny brew projected were of such capaciousness that within their cavernous obscurity the field lark might easily have lodged her nest. The eyes, in which a tear and a smile strove ever for the mastery, were of the dimensions of a good-sized cauliflower. Which I just want to pause right there. Like, his eyes were each as big as a cauliflower. Like, obviously this is an extremely, extremely exaggerated definition. All right, back to it. A powerful current of warm breath issued at regular intervals from the profound cavity of his mouth, while in rhythmic resonance the loud, strong hail reverberations of his formidable heart thundered rumbly, causing the ground, the summit of the lofty tower, and the still loftier walls of the cave to vibrate and tremble. So to simplify the description, yeah, he's just this giant man. Like, he's not sitting on a bar stool, he's sitting on a tower, and of course it's like because he's the Cyclops. His character is the Cyclops, like in Odysseus, like in the Odyssey. But like, yeah, his heart beats so hard that everybody in the bar can hear it. It's thundering off the walls of the bar, except it's not a bar, it's a cave. So he said a very heterosexual description. Yeah, it's just so amazing. And I'll just read one more thing here. I won't do any more unless somebody wants to like super chat me to read more, but I think it'll distract more than it already has. But there's a part where he says that like he's talking about everything that he's wearing, all of his clothes, all the animals that they're named. It sounds like a Japanese cartoon protagonist. Yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure wishes they had heroes like this. This guy. So there's a part where he's describing what the man is wearing. Irish nationalism was one hell of a drug. Yeah, and that's the thing. He's the citizen. That's why he doesn't even have a name. It's like he is the capital T, citizen capital C, the citizen. Like he's a superhero. It's like the Irish citizen. So I'm gonna just read one more part here. It's just so fucking hilarious to me. Like, this is seriously one of the funniest chapters of anything I've ever read in my goddamn life. So he's describing the clothes, and then he talks about how he's wearing this belt around his girdle, you know, and it's a bunch of sea stones, because Dublin's by the beach, it's on the coast, and they jangle around his waist, and they're not just regular sea stones, they've been carved with images of Irish heroes, which this carving, it makes me think of like Achilles' armor in the Iliad. Like it just goes for pages and pages describing everything that's carved all over his armor, which Odysseus ends up winning after Achilles dies. But it just says here, on these were graven with rude yet striking art the tribal images of many Irish heroes and heroines of antiquity. Cuchulainn, Conn of 100 battles, Niall of 9 hostages, Brian of Kincura, the Order Malachi. So just a few of those that I just read there. These are legitimate Irish figures. You know, Niall of the 9 hostages, for example, is a bloodline bonus you can get in Crusader Kings 2, just for example. But I'm going to skip ahead through some of these names. So you got to remember, every name that I am naming here is carved on a seashell on this man's belt. So every time you hear a name, the belt is getting bigger. There's another seashell being added. So I just want you to picture those seashells in your mind around this man's girdle, around his waist. And I'm going to like skip halfway down. Captain Moonlight, Captain Boycott, Dante Alighieri. Is Dante Alighieri Irish? Because remember, these are supposed to be Irish heroes. Christopher Columbus, Saint Fursa, Saint Brendan, Marshall Mahone, Charlemagne, Theobald Wolfe. You know, we do need the music. We need the epic music for this. Let's do this song. Yeah. Charlemagne, Theobald Wolfe, the mother of the Maccabees, the last of the Mohicans, the Rose of Castile, the man for Galway, the man that broke the bank at Monte Carlo, the man in the Gap, the woman who didn't, Benjamin Franklin, Napoleon Bonaparte, John L. Sullivan, Cleopatra, you know, all these famous Irishmen and women, Savarnine Delish, Julius Caesar, Persellius, Sir Thomas Lipton, William Tell, Michelangelo Hayes, Muhammad, the Bride of Lamour, Peter the Hermit, Peter the Packer, Dark Rosaline, Patrick W., Shakespeare, Brian Confucius, Murtaugh Gutenberg, Patricio Velasquez, Captain Nemo, Tristan and Isolde, the first Prince of Wales, Thomas Cook and Son, the Bold Soldier Boy, Ara Napug, Dick Turpin, Ludwig Beethoven, the Colin Baugh, Wadlard Healy, Angus the Culde, Dolly Mount, Sidney Parade, Ben Houth, Valentine Greatrakes, Adam and Eve, Arthur Wellesley, Boss Crocker, Herodotus, Jack the Giant Killer. I clanked my teeth together on this, damn. Ouch. Gautama Buddha, Lady Godiva, the Lily of Kilnary, Baler of the Evil Eye, Baller of the Even Eye, the Queen of Sheba, Acne Nagel, Joe Nagel, Alessandra Volta, Jeremy O'Donovan Rosa, Don Philip O'Sullivan Bear. So that wasn't even all the names that are so every name was a seashell on this was every name was a person carved into a seashell on this man's belt. I didn't even count that, but that's dozens of names. It's a heck of a belt. He's a giant man, yeah. Napoleon invaded Russia so he could free the Irish lands. Yes, Muhammad, a great Irishman. I'm imagining Genesis, but everyone's Irish. Yeah, pretty much. And you know, we joke, but I've talked about in the past that they the temple that Augustus did, the temple of Augustus Caesar, you know, the former Octavian, the temple to Mars Ultor, that he had that depicted all of Julius Caesar's ancestor, which was basically that. It was basically Genesis. So yeah, you kind of argue it's a little bit of making fun of Genesis. It's a little bit making fun of the ancient Romans. There's other parts in here where it's like, oh, this is making fun of this is the Joestar family line. Oh God, what's happening? Oh God. Oh, the game crashed. Oh shit. KX takes forever to boot back up. Oh no, what happened? Downloads. Did it freaking update while I was playing? Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Fuck. This is gonna take forever to boot back up. And it's gonna play the damn music too, so I can't even play the non-copyright stuff anymore. Fine. Let's read some other really funny parts in the meantime. To kill time. I didn't even mean this. The Irish were too hardcore for Hearts of Iron 4. They couldn't handle Irish chat. Okay. So like, here's another funny interval that happens in this chapter. So you know, there's these guys in the bar. They're all drunk, and there was a funeral earlier in the day. And so one of the guys at the bar, he just found out that this person died. That a person died called Dignam. And so they're drunk. This is like so stereotypical weepy Irishman stuff going on. But he goes to one of the main characters and he basically tells him, I heard about I want you to tell his widow that I'm so sorry about what happened and that her husband was a good man. So that's basically what this paragraph is. And so this is Bob telling this to Bloom. So Bob Doran comes lurching around asking Bloom to tell Mrs. Dugnam he was sorry for her trouble and he was very sorry about the funeral, and to tell her that he said, and everyone who knew him said, that there was never a truer, a finer than poor little Willie that's dead, to tell her. Choking with bloody foolery and shaking Bloom's hand, doing the tragic to tell her that. Shake hands, brother. You're a rogue and I'm another. So, you know, sad, drunk guys in the bar, you know, upset that Willie's dead. Focus on the character Steve, since you're such an Irish king. Oh, yeah, I've seen that movie. Yeah. But, so then the book interjects with, like, this fancy language version of what he just said, where it's like, you know, give my best. So I'm going to switch to the accents. It's like this highfalutin accent then, where she goes, "Let me," said he, "so far presume upon our acquaintance, which, however slight it may appear, if judged by the standard of mere time, is founded, as I hope and believe, on a sentiment of mutual esteem, as to request of you this favour. But should I have overstepped the limits of reserve, let the sincerity of my feelings be the excuse for my boldness." And then Bloom responds back again, like the text is just like giving it this fancy language for some reason, but then he responds, "No," returned the other, "I appreciate to the full the motives which actuate your conduct, and I shall discharge the office you entrust to me, consoled by the reflection that, though the errand be one of sorrow, this proof of your confidence sweetens in some measure the bitterness of the cup." And then the first guy says, "Then suffer me to take your hand. The goodness of your heart, I feel sure, will dictate to you better than my inadequate words the expressions which are most suitable to convey an emotion whose poignancy, were I to give vent to my feelings, would deprive me even of speech." Yeah. Yeah, so it's funny stuff. BBC, I'm Irish, US President Biden. I saw that clip. That was fucking hilarious. Like, no matter what your political stances are, if you like Joe Biden, if you hate Joe Biden, that was so funny. Blew off the BBC, because, like, yeah, my great-grandfather or whatever the fuck was Irish, so I'm not going to talk to a British news agency. An English one, I should say. Or I guess British Broadcasting Corporation, right? Yeah, but goddamn, that was some funny shit. Yep, there goes the monetization on this video, though. This is a copyrighted song. Everyone was laughing except the Northern Unionist Irish. Ooh, I saw such a fight break out on the internet recently, because you guys have probably seen the tweet where somebody said something like, I got told that Ukraine should, and I'm not going to talk about the Ukraine conflict, but the tweet was, I guess, a woman, or I don't know if it was a reporter quoting somebody else, but it's just basically saying, I got told that for the sake of peace, Ukraine should give up Donbas and the Crimea. Now, I want to ask you, what part of your country would you give up for the sake of peace? And so, of course, people were making, and I've seen this picture everywhere, so all over the internet, and like what kind of universally happens is everybody's just making jokes, like, you know, everybody in America's like, we can finally get rid of Florida, am I right, guys? You know, it's like, you can have it for free, we don't even need a war. You know, like, you know, there's some stuff going on in college basketball right now where it's like, let's get rid of North Carolina because somehow they're going to throw nukes at each other within the state. But then somebody gave a serious answer one of the times I saw this picture, and they basically said, well, that's what the Republic of Ireland did. They agreed to give up the North for the sake of peace. And then somebody comes back with, No, you got it backwards. The United Kingdom gave up Ireland for the sake of peace. That's part of the United Kingdom. And let the shit flinging begin. It was off to the races with that. It's just like, uh-oh, you got serious. You should have stuck to making jokes like, you know, I don't know, the fucking Italians going, can we get rid of Naples? I hate their pizza. You know? Alright, come on. But yeah, Ulysses, it really is a very intellectual novel in a lot of spots in that very same chapter. But I will, like I said, the thing that really stuck out to me was just how freaking funny that chapter was. I was laughing like out loud, you know, big, loud. Like at some points I couldn't breathe. I was just, Jesus. Ireland belongs to North Atlantis. Yeah. Come at me. Yeah, right. What's that mythical land? I think I don't know if it's mythical. I actually keep forgetting every time I look up, but I don't know if it's mythical or if it really was an island but it got swallowed by the sea, like Dogrel or whatever it's called, between Scandinavia and the UK. So yeah, Ireland is part of Greater Dogrel. But, you know, as we saw when we read that excerpt from Ulysses earlier, you know, Muhammad was an Irishman, so that means that Ireland is the capital of the greater, like, any greater Islamic caliphate claims are, in fact, Irish claims. So, you know, obviously Ireland is the proper owner of Mecca, Medina, Jerusalem, the obvious ones, but, you know, that also entails everything the caliphate ever held. So we're talking, you know, Central Asia, we're talking North Africa, we're definitely talking the Iberian Peninsula. These are all proper Irish clay. But damn it, we're playing New England, and I'm like just getting so distracted by Ireland. It's the doggone Ulysses is turning me into a hibernophile. Doggerland, yeah. Thank you very much for the super chat, Jacob Brown. I don't know why the alert's not going off. Tell you I can get a new mic thanks to your super chats, everybody. But I got this new mic, but that sure don't mean that I got freaking there's the alert. I don't have can't do much about Streamlabs delay. It could be worse, I guess. At least it still goes through. It just takes a little while. It just takes some time. All right, I think we're getting to about where it blew up before, where we lost the game crashed. Irish conquering history games. Yeah, and that seashell belt, one of the seashells has my logo carved in it. Speaking of, we're for sure doing the new logo in April. Like I've said, April's gonna be a huge month for the channel. I'm gonna open up memberships. We're gonna start doing membership only streams. We're gonna do some custom emojis. We got some new games coming. I'm super duper excited. Like, honestly, since my midterms ended, I've just been waiting for April. It's like, come on, April. Like, I'm doing my schoolwork, of course, and I've got my work, my in real life job. Although my in real life job, I'm going to be leaving that in early April, which is why another reason April is going to be such a big month. Yeah, by like April 11th, I'm going to be totally free. Like, I'm actually going to be done earlier. It's a whole long story. You've got to help the PSA because of Fallout New Vegas. Oh, are they syndicalists? No, they're social conservatives. Well, tough. They're social conservatives and the Kaiser is in their president's name. Absolutely not. We're helping them. When I meant green anarchism, I meant Irish anarchism. Yeah, it'll be a shame to lose the logo. Yeah, there was actually a different logo that I wanted to do. I was trying to modify it, but frankly, it looked like shit. I couldn't get it right, and I just, like, I'm done with it. Fuck it. So we're going to go in a different direction with the logo. It's gonna fundamentally be the same logo, but it's, you know what it is? It's gonna basically be like the logo you're seeing now. But the mask on my regular thing is gonna be gone, which I've had that mask on for like a year. Which I put on as like a joke, and I kind of forgot it was there. So like my logo, when you like go to my channel, not the one in the corner now, it's been that forever. Oh yeah, shit, let's turn this damn music off. Like, I'm already demonetized, but whatever. Let's go back to before the pack. Here we go. Funding the pioneers. In order to better prepare the next generation for our way of life, and in order to further spread how many partake in our youth pioneers and our various collectivist programs, we shall further fund these various programs set up by Lermond and incentivize new people to join. We shall not force any of our population to live within our new system, but we can persuade people to come to our side of things if we show them just how beneficial and prosperous it could truly be. We went over the old and new, one new collective or youth trip at a time. Building utopia was never going to be quick or easy. All this political power is quick and easy, though. It just keeps coming. By the way, I know this isn't like super efficient to be working on this tree when there's other stuff I could be doing, but I'm doing it for flavor. Hold on a sec. Professing a new second enlightenment for greater than the first, Goodman has begun to introduce his own unique views on philosophy, morality, liberty, true freedom, rationality, and more into the public mainstream. With his advocacy, he seeks to trigger a new mental and cultural revolution to sweep New England up in its riptide, bringing in a new perception of reality and socialism to our people. Standing as the herald of this new left, Goodman shall revolutionize the very thought processes of our people as we seek out to understand the unknown and unknowable. What was it saying about April? Yeah, so we're gonna do a new logo. I think you guys are gonna like it. Yeah, a lot of good stuff coming in April. But I was what else was I saying though? It was gonna be. I said the new games. I said we're doing the new logo. I said we're doing custom emojis. We're opening up membership. Was that it? I'll tell you what, though, March, a lot of the HOI4 fanatics, they have got to be happy that March is going to be over, because it has been a crazy month on that side of things. Like, I don't spend money on other people on YouTube because I think that that's not right, because you guys give, you guys super chat me, and then when I'm supposed to super chat somebody else, no, I shouldn't do that until, like, I'm a big enough guy that, like, I'm self-sustaining, more than self-sustaining on my own, and then I could do things like that. Like, have I seen Ruby? Oh, dude, I got a freaking Ruby poster in my bedroom. Yeah, I've seen Ruby. Waiting for that new season to drop. There was like a delay or something. That's why it didn't... Because usually they start dropping them in the fall, but they didn't last year. I don't remember. I saw some announcement why, but it was months ago. My OnlyFans will launch April 1st. Oh, man. So... Gosh, what was I say? April. God, I lost my. Oh yeah, HOI4, because like they did the HOI4 festival. It was Crony's birthday, Susei's birthday, Fauna's birthday. So like just tons and tons of merch was dropping. Iris, Bales was in like February 28th, so like practically March as well. And then Susei is doing like a concert, which I think is a free concert, but I'm sure people are going to super chat big time for it. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm a big Ruby fan. I've got at least 4 of those albums in my top 500 of all time, like their OSTs. Jeff Williams' work is terrific. I've said for years that if Jeff Williams, he's the composer of the music for that show. If Jeff Williams ever walked into, the Rooster Teeth head office, which used to be Bernie Burns, but I think he's retired from CEO. But yeah, and then he just said, yo, if you want me to come back next year, I'm going to need another 0 on my paycheck. Like, Rooster Teeth just needs to, like, open up a safe underneath the desk and, like, just give him the money in cash right away. And just say, we've been putting it away. We've been underselling you, man. I just don't even hesitate. Give him the money. Let's see here. I usually don't like to take things that are more than 200 days, but let's get moving on this computing machine. But yeah, there was the Susei and all this stuff. Yeah, so basically there's just been tons and tons of... Oh yeah, 3 new Indian VTubers for HOI4 debuted. I think in a few days there's going to be some new Holo Stars, like there's HOI4, I guess. It's kind of like confusing because like HOI4 is I think the name of the broader company, although it's underneath a bigger company called Covercore. But then there's like Holo Stars, which is like a branch of HOI4. That's like the men, which I've seen some clips of. they're funny in their own way, but they seem more focused on, like, not all the time, but how do I put it? The reason I prefer the women is, like, they're like Looney Tunes. They're much more bouncing off the walls crazy. Like for example, Hololive has two little animated series. They'll do an episode every week, and they'll do a Holostars one, and they'll do a Hololive one. The Holostars ones are silly. Like, you know, you'll have somebody turn into a guitar. But, like, the Hololive ones with the women are just completely freaking wacky. Those Hololive VTubers from the country India? No, the new ones are from Indonesia. The new ones that just showed up. They're making a Ruby anime. There's a trailer and everything. Yeah, I heard about that. Which for me was like, isn't Ruby already an anime? But actually, it's made in the United States, so it's not an anime. It's just like, okay. Just like Avatar: The Last Airbender's not an anime. Got it. Put the gun away. Put the gun away! Oh, God. It's like, yeah, it's also a gun. And it was like a freaking suitcase or something from Ruby, like it's somebody cosplaying. You know, they had the scythe and it's a gun. All right. Paul Goodman has seen the writing on the wall. He knows our current path. The current path of all humanity will lead to our downfall. Though he cannot stop the world, he can save our slice of Eden here. Revolting against industrial modernity, Paul Goodman has begun a push to decentralize our industry, spreading it across our nation and keeping it to only necessary levels in order to stave off environmental collapse. Furthermore, fossil fuels have begun to be phased out slowly in favor of utilizing the hydroelectric potential of Niagara Falls and the Hudson River. Though the engineering behind such feats shall be done carefully to have as little of an environmental impact as possible, Goodman shall build an ecological, anarchist utopia in line with Lermond's ultimate dream and build a verdant, decentralized, collectivized paradise amid the verdant greenery. We shall wage revolution against the industrial system. New name, let's go! Paul Goodmanismo! We will be known as the Yeoman Frontier Republican Commune. A little bit of a mouthful. The hell yeah! Always love to see new names. We love it, folks. Okay. I think that's actually a terrific place to stop it. Woo! Yes! Yeah, I think that's actually a terrific place to stop it. We'll pick this up tomorrow. By the way, I know I haven't done Death Stranding in a little bit. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do Death Stranding this weekend, or at least not on Saturday. Maybe I can Sunday. That's a name for the HOI4 Iceberg video. Yeah, the Yeoman Frontier Republican Commune. Yeah, Canada, the fuck is happening over there? Yeah, so Death Stranding, I know I haven't done it in a couple of weeks, and I really want to, because I think we're just on Chapter 3. Honestly, I'll probably... Oh, yeah, we got a new flag! Green, like, yeah, look at that. So what we'll probably do is, Death Stranding is going to have to wait until after April 8th or so. But in any case, I'm definitely not going to be able to stream this Saturday. Something came up. Also, just a heads up for future streams in general. I have been desperately trying to get a dentist appointment going. I don't have any cavities or anything. I don't have like any specific pain, you guys. I know, but you know, it's good to take care of your teeth. And actually, funnily enough, Ulysses was actually one of the things that compelled me, like, I really got to go to the dentist, because there's a character who I somewhat empathize with, and his teeth are going bad and rotting, and it like made me paranoid about mine. I try to take good care of my teeth, brushing frequently and flossing and mouthwash and stuff, but still, you got to get a cleaning. Anyway, so I'm trying to get it at any chance. I had a chance this upcoming Saturday morning to get one, but something else got in the way. And so it's like, yeah, I'm just having a lot of trouble finding a dentist appointment. So when that dentist appointment comes, I don't give a crap if I have something already scheduled. I need to go get my teeth taken care of. I will announce if I have to cancel a stream because of a dentist appointment, just as a heads up. But Anyway, tomorrow night we'll pick this up. I'm Conquering History Games. See you next time. You all have a great night. And glad you enjoyed the new mic. I'm gonna do some really gross whispers. Good night, everybody. Thanks for the super chats. You all are wonderful. And I can't wait until this is my job more than, working at the restaurant. I can't wait until I can really devote more time to YouTube and you guys. So, good night.